Hi, I'm Coach Riana Milne speaking today for Steve at Speakers Connection and Event Raptor. Today's topic, how to create and grow a six-figure coaching business to international status. Do you want to be a six-figure coach? The facts are only 5% of coaches earn over six figures. So what does it take to be a world-renowned influencer or coach? At the end of this talk, I'll tell you how to get my free ebook on the coaching business to get started, along with a 1-hour mentorship with me at the end. My gift has a $997 value for this coaching consultation session. Plus, you can save 10% off any coaching program with me, and you'll get all those details at the end. So make sure you stay to the end because you're going to learn a lot. Today, I'm going to cover the importance of mindset to success, including the 8 Ds to success that I learned as a teenager. Creating daily, weekly goals to reach your dreams. What's needed to succeed as a coach in today's market? How to get leads and be an expert in your niche. How to have a six-figure business running it all by yourself and thinking outside of the box. And then I have a bonus, the top 10 tips for ongoing success. But first, a little bit more about me. I have over 25 years experience as a licensed mental health counselor and a certified life, love, and trauma recovery and mindset coach who's recognized internationally for my trademark life and love transformation coaching systems. Awarded one of the top 15 transformation coaches globally by New York Weekly magazine and the top 10 coaches to follow by Wealth Insider magazine. I'm also featured in Forbes, Disrupt Magazine, Influencer Daily, and on many places online. I'm on the cover of Fashion Republic also, which includes an in-depth profile of my coaching, counseling, and modeling careers. My website is rianamilne.com, and my podcast is called lessonsinlifeandlove.com. I'm also a best-selling author, and my #1 bestseller on Amazon was Love Beyond Your Dreams, Break Free of Toxic Relationships to Have the Love You Deserve, along with its sister book, Live Beyond Your Dreams, From Fear and Doubt to Personal Power, Purpose, and Success. Okay, so here we go. The importance of mindset, including the 8 Ds to success. By the way, when I tell a story throughout this speech, listen carefully for the lessons within that story and the event that helped increase my business success over the many years. Okay, so in the past, I've had many mentors in my day. I think back to my first boss, Gene Vassell. I was 14 years old at WFIL radio in Philadelphia. And he always said, "Hun, you got to have a gimmick," meaning what makes you different from everyone else in your niche? What makes you different? And that was a wonderful experience as I was a promotional model working with entertainers all over the streets of Philadelphia. And WFIL was well known for customer service, public relations, and doing really fun and crazy promotions. And I was a part of that. Second, at age 16, my dad taught me the 5 Ds to success. Now, I have since upped it to 8 Ds over the years, but they are, and I'll explain each one. Decide first what you really want to do. What is your passion? What makes you excited? What do you feel good at? And then decide on what that is. The next one is desire. Desire it more than anything else because you're going to spend a lot of time creating this business. Dedication. You must be dedicated to the process from beginning to end. Nothing comes overnight, and you have to be patient with the journey. The next is determination. Be determined when everybody else says it'll never work, you'll never get it. You be determined to be your best cheerleader. Devotion is the spiritual lessons where I am devoted to God and the belief system that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Dare to dream. And he said, baby, dream big. And I sure did. And then drive is working endlessly, many hours a day, especially when you're in a special project. And don't give up until that project or the day is done. And discipline to keep going even during the hard and challenging times. There are also many spiritual leaders that I had in the past, like Tony Robbins, Marianne Williamson in the Course of Miracles, Wayne Dyer, Napoleon Hill. I read hundreds of books on mindset for success and my business since my early 20s and started teaching mindset to business owners and then my models and actors at my talent school and agency who went on to reach their dreams as an actor, like my auto mechanic, Michael, who ended up in Baywatch, singer, my daughter Alexi, who ended up on singing on 3 multi-platinum CDs with the top singing talent of the day, and even a dancer, Beth, who wanted to be part of the Rockettes in New York City. All of these people from Erie, Pennsylvania, and everyone told them they were crazy, they would never make their dreams. But I was called the dream maker. So I ask you, what is your dream? And the importance of mentors. I have easily had 15 coaches. I've always invested in the best, knowing that coaching is definitely tax deductible. Why would I hesitate to grow my business to the dream that I had for it? Why would I skimp on myself? Why not get the best to get the best results with a proven system? You see, when I was 16, my very best friend died in a car accident. It made me know then how much time do I have? How much time to reach my goals and dreams? So I wasn't going to flounder with someone that was less than. If I was going to be a coach, I wanted to be one of the best. So therefore, I needed the best mentors that I could find. Some of my coaches include, and by the way, if you decide to look them up and work with them, please give them my name because I always have such fond memories and thanks and gratitude for everything that they taught me. My business coach was Lisa Sachovich. I invested $85,000 to work with her for a year. And her program back then was called Speak to Sell. One of her mottos was keep your speech and switch your audience. That gave me the courage to speak to many different audiences on my topic of healing childhood and love trauma, which then grew into various niches, but the core of the speech had never changed. It went from there to parent-child relationships, into mindset for success in business, into working with the talent industry with imposter syndrome, to working with those who had trauma from narcissistic partners, and so on. Also, I give speeches for LGBTQ populations on childhood trauma. My marketing coach, Mark Lack, whose class I never missed, and every week I came in with something new to share and go over with him. And he'd ask his other 100 students in the group, why are you not doing the work like Riana does? I figured if I was going to invest in a great coach, by golly, I was going to be doing the work. So every week, whatever I learned, I set it into action. And that was one of the most important things. John Lee Dumas for podcasts from Entrepreneur on Fire. He had one of the best podcasts on every platform back at that time when I signed up. And he has an excellent training school. If you want to be in podcasts, you got to know what you're doing and you got to be confident when you speak on the mic and be able to promote your show. David Steele at RCI, Relationship Coaching Institute, who back in 2009 and 10, I went to coaching for life and relationship, coaching for singles and then for couples. So I was there for 2 years. And of all the thousands of coaches he has over the years, he came back to me many years later, I guess it was 6 or 7 years, and he asked me if I wanted to be one of the 5 coaches in a 12-show series called Radical Dating, Finding Lasting Love Over 40. Where my client Scott, who was the long shot, went on to be the first to date, have an exclusive partner, and then married after working on healing his childhood and love trauma behind the scenes using my coaching method in love trauma recovery. So we were the winning team. Years later, he thought of me. So when you work hard for great coaches, they have many connections. I remember Mark Lack introduced to me to one of my quiet mentors. I saw him in The Secret. I'm there. Oh my God, one day I'm going to meet him. And that was John Assaraf. And between Mark and Lisa Sachovich, I was able to meet John and I have him on my podcast, Lessons in Life and Love. So dreams do come true. And when you work hard for a great high ticket, high power coach, you get known just by being a great student. I always took pride in my work and I wanted my research to work for my clients. Step by step, I went focusing on one thing until it was done right, whether it was writing my books or writing my notebooks for my coaching curriculum. I wanted to be certain and know that my programs worked. So I time tested my work for years in my therapy practice in New Jersey called Therapy by the Sea. And then once my books and my notebooks were written, my curriculum was tested, and I did coaching with clients in the Delray Beach area. I decided in 2017, after working with Lisa for a year, to go global. I didn't know how to go global, but I knew there was no shortcut to success. There is no magic pill. Today, you're going to learn exactly what to do if you are serious about taking your coaching business or other business to the next level. So, number one, hire the best mentors that you can. Find the money to invest in yourself and do the work they tell you to do every week. Don't fall behind. When you invest at a high level, you do the work to get big results. Number two, creating daily, weekly goals to reach your dreams. Now, focus and goal setting is part of what I call the Mindset for Success system that I talk about in my book, Live Beyond Your Dreams. And it is critical. Every day, this is going to create your success or kill it. It is the nature of the business to breathe. There's going to be great days where you're emphatic and selling like crazy, and months and years where then slowly it goes slow for a few months here and there. And you're going to ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? What changed? Well, the answer to that is look around you. The world changes. So you must be astute enough and conscious enough and predict and prepare for those changes early on. And then you change too. Some people call this pivot. I call it conscious awareness. Be aware of what's going on in your world. Change the topic or add a new one and keep your main program, but bring in another one slowly as the world is changing. Because you can't hang tight onto old methods. I've been in business as a therapist and coach for 25 years. So I went through the 2002 tech crash, the 2008 real estate crash, inflation every 3 to 4 years, COVID. Oh, yeah, that was a real good one, wasn't it? And then add the horrible presidents who ruined our economy. And sadly, and recently, these big wars that influence everything. This is the outside world's influence, which we can't ignore and we personally can't change. So we need to keep learning and growing and adding new and interesting things to our businesses to adapt to the times. Each day, you need 3 goals a day, both personal and business, to finish for the day. 3 goals a week in both personal and business, 3 a month, and then 3 lofty goals for 6 months, and then 1 year and 5 years. This is how I have consistently grown and reached many goals in my life since my 20s. I've been using this system. The goal setting system is a constant in my Mindset for Success system and part of everything I teach. We can't directly change the world influence on our society, but we can be consciously aware of how it will impact our business and plan ahead with the goals to do new approaches to your business that will still attract the clients who love you to your products and service. Because if you're doing good work, you're going to build up your following over the years. So this leads us to part 3. What's needed to succeed as a coach in today's market? Well, first, I've attended Steve's many speaking events, and it's great that you are here learning and growing and networking with so many people. That is super important. But remember, there's a time to learn, and then there's a time that you must take solid action. So many people go so far, and then they stop, or they really never get started. Why? Well, this happens to fall under my topic of expertise, which is healing childhood trauma that sabotages us in life, love relationships, and business. As an advanced CCTP, which stands for Certified Clinical Trauma Professional, I help people heal their unconscious childhood traumas that lead to many different things, including, first, a fearful, doubtful, negative mindset. You don't believe in yourself or others. This goes all the way back to your childhood messaging and conditioning. Second, procrastination. The fear your project won't work, so you do nothing but you start and stop and never complete a project, a course, or a book. How many people said, I'm going to write a book? I've got a great book in me. And then they never do one. Or I'm going to create a course, yet they never finish it. This is the way childhood trauma is getting in your way of success. Three, fear of investing in yourself. Did you ever say, I need that coach or I need that particular course, but what if it won't work for me? Or you shop around for various coaches for the information you really do need, but then you choose no one, claiming you don't have the money, but you do have thousands in your bank account, your retirement fund, or available on your credit cards for cash advances. So you actually could buy a course, but then you end up doing nothing. This is a sign you grew up with lack messages or feeling you're not worthy enough to invest this sum of money in yourself. Or people will tell you you're crazy if you invest that much, like when I invested 85,000 in Lisa. They said you could buy 2 cars with that. I'm like, I don't need 2 cars. I need a job I love. I need to go global, and I need to get this important message to the world. Next is perfectionism. You keep rewriting that book 100 times, but you never put it out there. That is the subconscious fear of being judged. So when you were young, you probably didn't feel good enough, or you were teased or bullied, making you feel different or unworthy. You're afraid to be judged, so you don't put that final book out there. Next, maybe you enjoy subconsciously being the victim. You have excuses why you can't finish something. Your vendor let you down. It doesn't look right. You can't do the tech part. So what excuses are you feeding yourself? These are just a few examples of at least 24 combinations of how unhealed childhood trauma keeps you stuck in your career. You can listen to my podcast, Lessons in Life and Love. I have 125 shows on about how this really messes you up in life and love. Because you could be successful in business, but never or happy and successful in love. Why not? Well, you can have it all. Once past childhood and love trauma is healed, and you learn the mindset for success and goal setting and life balance for joy and happiness and doing the work that you truly love, it all does really come together. My clients are amazed when they come to me for a love problem, but then their career catapulted to success. They get raises and promotions or finally have the guts to leave the job that they hated and landed a job that they loved or invested in coaching with me to launch their new coaching business. So let's talk about how to get leads and be an expert in your niche. My youngest daughter, Alexi Panos, lives in Austin, Texas, and was once a resident out in LA and New York, and the singer on 3 multi-platinum CDs and a TV host for HGTV and E Entertainment News Online. She is one of the top 1% millionaire coaches, and she happens to be married to her superstar successful coach husband, Preston Smiles. And she once said to me, Mom, always just do what you love in coaching. That's the best for you. As a therapist, I entered the coaching game about 10 years after she did. So I was a therapist much longer, and she was one of my mentors in my coaching journey. I knew I always loved to teach and write, but I had the conservative nature of a psychotherapist. So those two were very showy on their videos, and that worked, all the social media. But I wasn't flashy with my videos, or I didn't love the big stage presentations, but I loved teaching and speaking to people one-on-one. So the style of marketing that I love best was being interviewed for summits and podcasts. It was great having a new relationship with a host. I liked the idea of being a part of a great educational group of experts. And for my podcast, it helped my clients when they were guests for me. This is what got me my leads. They heard me speak. And my prospects always said they could see and feel my passion for healing childhood and love trauma. And they felt like I was exactly talking to them. And I described the problem and the solutions beautifully in a way that they understood it. It was not psychobabble. It was straight from the heart. I was not looking for leads through social media. By the way, it never worked for me. Being that I was one of the first people talking about what childhood trauma was in 2015, posting about it, most people didn't even understand what I was trying to say. But when I was interviewed and talked about it, they did. They got it. Then once they heard me talk, I had great educational gifts from them. eBooks, free quizzes on my website, my number one best-selling book, free chapter downloads, and my podcast, Lessons in Life and Love. So they could turn there if they were audio listeners, and that's how they like to learn. They could watch me, listen to me, read my 400-page love book, or get a short book, an ebook, just for a few more details about what I was just speaking about. So the secret was I approached all learning styles, but only by doing the things I loved and felt that I did well. Social media was a bother to me, but I did post everywhere just enough to have a presence on each platform and to promote my summits and projects for my affiliates and I. And this is how I got my leads consistently, by speaking. Then they are on my email list for my educational lessons and podcast emails that I send out the same time every week on Friday. Once a lead comes in, I send them a personal email from me as well, offering a promotion for my discovery session and a free gift if they order for that month. That switches every month. I do have a phone number that I collect from these people, so I could call them. But personally, I'm busy during the day and I hate sales calls, so I don't bother people. I know that when they are interested, they contact me, that I am there to help them, not sell them. And they truly know the difference. They know my trademark system works, and I am there to focus on them one on one, which leads to the next topic, how to have a six-figure business running it all by yourself. And I begin with saying, think outside of the box. I've always loved having my own businesses since I was in my mid-20s. I loved the ability to vacation when I wanted to. And it was a necessity to be able to pick my daughters up from school midday at 3 o'clock. So what 9 to 5 job would have me? At age 26, I divorced the man who stole $200,000 from my mom and put us into a $750,000 bankruptcy. Back then, that was a ton of money. Oh, yeah, that was my first love trauma. Back then, it was hard to find an at-home employment job that paid well for corporations. So I had to create a business so I could leave to get my kids. I told my mom I would pay it all back to her. I knew it would take me a lot of time to just be patient with me. And it did take me 16 years and working about 5 jobs most of my adult life, many that I created from my own and with no bank loans. I had 2 little girls back then, so thank God I had studied the mindset for success starting in my teens. And I asked myself always, what can I do? And I had modeled since the age of 12, so I knew I had this talent and I loved it. I love PR and marketing and modeling and TV acting. So I opened with my first month's rent at my model and talent school and agency in Erie, Pennsylvania. Again, people laughed at me, saying a modeling school would never go in this small blue collar town. And I responded, watch me. I started with 4 people in my first class at my modeling school. By the end of the first year, I had 25 students per group class and a waiting list. So, how did I get my leads? Using my Mindset for Success goal setting system, I became great at PR, marketing, writing, and sales. It was surviving that turned into thriving. Within 6 months of opening my school, I entered the International Modeling and Talent Association School of the Year contest and won for educational excellence. Another 6 months later, I won the whole thing, the International Model and Talent School of the Year, and 100% of my models, actors, singers, dancers that I took to LA or New York got picked up by a big city agency. Every time we came home, that was a lot of great free press. So my product, my education really worked. So I did all this on Mindset for Success because being in a bankruptcy at age 26, I could not get a bank loan, right? So I was the only employee. I had no help. I taught all the courses in the initial beginning, first few years, and then I'd hire teachers on to teach on Saturdays so I could have that day off with my daughters. I wrote the 250-page school training manual that the Pennsylvania Department State of Education said I needed when I came to appear for them to get my license. There was no book written on commercial modeling back then, so I wrote one and I paid to have it illustrated. I sold it for $50 and it was required for all my students to buy. So that was my first book and I did pretty well, even though I didn't put it out into the mass market. I had the company for 10 years, so I sold a lot of books. I also developed a model and talent camp on a summer college campus where the kids would be dropped off in the dorm for 1 week with me and a couple of teachers and chaperones. Parents dropped them off looking like their regular kid in sloppy clothes. And 1 week later, they come to see them on a runway and they looked like a supermodel. They saw professional photographers. And again, thinking outside of the box of what can I do differently? That program made me $14,000 a week, and I did 2 camps a year. That was a lot back then. And those first summers after that was a deposit on my second house, which became my model and talent school that I bought the home and I totally remodeled it to be a really cool school campus. That school that I opened with only my first month's rent 2 years prior, bought me a house within 2 years for my girls and I's, and then the second home just a couple years later that I turned into the school and agency campus. And I wasn't even 30 yet. So talk about thinking outside of the box. Plus, I got free press all the time in newspapers, on television, news channels. Every group of models had to do a community service. So they did a lot of fashion shows and raised money for a needy cause. And that was newsworthy. They felt great about it. They had a show to practice for, to practice their skills. The event was televised, so it helped me and the company. And of course, the people we did the event for benefited. So I didn't have to pay for expensive TV and newspaper press. Then I aligned myself with a top radio station up there, WJET, and came up with the concept of the jet setter promotional models. So my models got jobs. I got 20% of all the bookings, and we got a ton of free radio press. Hey, I have to admit, I modeled it after the WFIL Boss Chicks that I was a part of in the 70s, but WJET loved the idea, and we were everywhere in the community. Again, free advertising. I always wanted to be a counselor and went back to school for my master's at age 37 and became a licensed mental health counselor. I found that as a school director within my school, I was helping people reach their dreams, but they had so many fears and doubts and negative family messages that they could not be the model, actor, dancer, or singer that they dreamed to be. I did not know about childhood trauma back then when I was just a school talent director, but I studied how to overcome negative childhood experience, and we proved all their doubters wrong. My students called me the dream maker, and I love making people happy and seeing them succeed. And I've been coaching the mindset for success since the age of 26, actually since the age of 22, when I taught business and business success, PR and marketing at Gannon University. So it's over 40 years, almost 45. So every coaching client I have, learn it as well because they have to overcome those past traumas that are holding them back. In year 2000, I went to get a triple master's in clinical psychology and opened my company, Therapy by the Sea. After getting certified from RCI and coaching in 2009, I had a second love trauma, which sent me to do the deep work research on why was I so successful in business, but struggling in partner selection. We did not hear the term childhood trauma in my triple master's. Do you believe it? But I was doing the research for my thesis on teens from traumatic homes in the year 2000. And then in 2012, I created the childhood trauma checklist and started guesting on podcasts in 2015 on what this was and the negative impacts it has in adults in life, love, and business. Back then, people said I was making it up. Now, childhood trauma is one of the top buzzwords out there, but I kept moving forward saying, watch me. And lo and behold, it's as popular now as that word narcissist. And people are finally understanding the importance of this complex mental health condition that impacts 100% of us in 7 life areas. In 2017, I turned global with my coaching and created my company, Lessons in Life and Love Coaching. Through speaking on podcasts and summits, I became known globally. I was interviewed 4 to 6 times a week for my knowledge in this area of expertise, only having a passion for teaching and coaching. I was contacted by several online media companies and others that wanted to do features on me in top magazines and online publications. Each time I am contacted, I'm so delighted and surprised. It's like receiving a big bonus for the work that I truly love to do. As the word got out, more clients signed up for my VIP one-on-one coaching programs, dating to mating and relationship rescue for couples. And they were super successful and they were high ticket items. I did small groups once a year and they all excelled in group too. I bring 28 different modalities to my coaching that makes me totally different than any dating or relationship coach out there because not only do I have all the coaching modality and the curriculum, but I'm also a licensed mental health counselor with a specialty of clinical trauma recovery training. So not only all the professional initials after my name, but the years of mindset coaching, PR, marketing, and even helping my clients with their wardrobes because I was a stylist for catalogs at a large department store in Philadelphia called Strawbridge's. And I worked for Ralph Lauren in New York for a period of time. So this is where I used to model and excel. So now I am ensuring that their dating profiles look excellent along with their wardrobes. So the moral to the story, what is your why? And how are you different? Are you doing what you are truly passionate about? My why at age 26 was to leave a toxic husband, support my girls and help them to be successful and pay back my mom. But more importantly, I knew my success was my best revenge. So I kept positive and kept moving forward. You see, there was no time to be a victim to my ex or worry about the huge debt to my mom. Back then, I hired a mentor at a modeling agency up in New York who taught me how to be a model and talent agent, a manager, and run a school. Because really, I had no idea. I just opened it and believed that I could. That's how strong my mindset was. So let's add her to my coaches list as well. That's before coaching became even popular. So you need to prove all your doubters wrong too. You need to believe in you first and your product and service no matter what. You must get the education you need to be the best. I've easily invested over 350,000 in my coaching education and in my master's in psychology, but it all has been paid back easily within 1 year. So you see, when you invest in yourself and believe, you will earn it back. It's easy to find excuses why you can't do something, why you think you can't afford something. I was a single mom with a $200,000 debt. But within just a couple years of believing that I could be a model and talent agent, I own 2 homes. So you feel lousy when you're not living your purpose. You know, life is too short. You don't want to have any regrets. You don't want to feel stuck, depressed, and anxious, not doing the work that you love. So now is the time to create the life you desire and have the love that you deserve. Start today. Reach out to me to apply to be one of my coaches because I am now taking on more coaches to teach my trademark system who will have all the benefits of everything that I've built. Or you can also apply to be mentored in your own coaching business by one of the best international coaches out there today. You can easily be a 6 or 7 figure coach too. You just have to want it. You have to want it in your heart and your soul and be willing to learn and do the work. But start by getting my free gift, a 997 coaching consultation session for mentoring. And then you can save 10% off any coaching program when you enroll in either mentoring or coaching certification in my life and love transformation and trauma recovery coaching system. Especially if you're a therapist or licensed mental health counselor, This is an ideal candidate for me. If you want more details, email me personally at rianamilne@gmail.com and go to my website and get all those free resources there, rianamilne.com/mentorship. Now let's go into the top 10 tips for ongoing success. This is just a bonus to put it out there. Some things I haven't covered yet that I have used that have all add up to making a difference, right? It's the little things that add up to so much. So first, have your links and pictures to your magazine covers, accolades, articles on your email signature. Every time you send an email, they see your success level. Two, always have business cards with pictures of you on it and network locally. Get known in your community. You know, I was out last night doing a networking event down in Fort Lauderdale. And on this site, with all these singles, of course, I'm a dating coach, they said, you are a force to be reckoned with. You walk in the room and everybody turns and sees you and knows who you are. And then there's the pictures of my magazines and my photograph on my business card. I had 12 strong leads, came back and wrote them all this morning. And now I have a couple people signed up for coaching. So get out there and network locally, get known. Have a speaker's one sheet and update your bio regularly. On your speaker's one sheet on page 2, you want to have the top 10 questions you would like a host to ask you on a podcast or a summit. They may not always do it, but I have found my hosts love this convenience, and they usually choose me over other guests that have not provided this information. 4, join all the speakers' bureaus for podcasting and have your speech down tight for 15 minutes, 30, 45, and 1 hour. Once you get your main topic, have a one sheet for 4 other topics so you can speak for 5 to 6 niches. So I have parent-child, LGBTQ, I speak on narcissists, I speak for corporations, for mindset for success, and stress reduction. So think outside of the box. 5, have free gifts for every type of learner, your audio, video learners, and your readers. Vary the gifts according to your audience and the topics that you have. Keep refreshing them and making new ones. 6, keep investing in yourself and keep growing. This is a journey. It is never done. You're always learning and creating new products and new ways for people to get information from you. 7, find your why and your passion. Do what you love and the method that you love and do it that way. Spend minimal time on the rest. 8, learn to use AI tools. Think outside of the box. Be different than the rest of everyone else in your niche. I just put this amazing, I call it Riana AI chatbot on my website, rianamilne.com, and you can ask it any question, and it sounds exactly like me if I answered it. How does it get my brain? By me feeding it, my podcast, my website, all my eBooks, my 2 bestseller books, all this information is answering that question. I am now representing this product and building it for other businesses and coaches. So if that's something you're interested in, contact me at rianamilne@gmail.com because my people love this tool. And it brings you a discovery session or a initial meeting with someone and gives you an opportunity to give out a free gift. So learn the AI tools that are coming out and be different from the rest in your niche. 9, offer excellent personal customer service. I always say I might be global, but I'm hometown in the way that I treat you. I email everyone back. I don't have anyone else answering my emails. I don't have a team. I have 2 people that help me very part-time in India on my website and my graphics when I get stuck and I can't do them or don't have time to do them. But everything else I do myself. I like the quality that I know exactly what I'm putting out there. And when my clients opt in for a gift and I say a personal note from Coach Riana, they're like, oh my God, this woman on Forbes magazine is writing me. They're impressed by that. To me, it's like, hey, how are you? Can I help you with anything? So it is a down-home feel that makes them feel comfortable right away. So that personal customer service is super important. Number 10, Make sure courses really work and then get personal testimonials from everyone that graduates, both written and on video. I know some people are shy on video, so at least get a written testimonial with a photograph that they allow you to use. There's nothing like reviewing these stories if you have a tough day and it's like, this is why I do what I do. So I say in my emails, and here is why my coaching is different. Here's my bio. And here's just a couple testimonials from my satisfied clients. And there's like 300 or 400 of them. They can read a few of them or whatever. I've been doing this 25 years. So I have a lot of happy clients, which is what I love. Go ahead and get my free gift. Again, it's a value of $9.97. It's a free coaching consultation session for mentoring. And then if you decide to coach with me, you save 10% off any coaching program when you enroll in either mentoring or to be one of my coaches under coaching certification in my life and love transformation and trauma recovery coaching system. If you want more details or have questions, again, email me personally. I will answer you at rianamilne@gmail.com. And go out to my website and check out some of the other things that I have developed to become an internationally known and respected coach. And again, that's rianamilne.com. I hope you learned some valuable information from this, and I hope to see you soon. Have a beautiful and a blessed day.